Art in the Hive Age. Can creativity survive? Welcome back to Hive Mind, the dawn of telepathic humanity. I'm Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and in today's episode, we're addressing a question that's at the intersection of creativity, technology, and humanity. Can art survive the hive mind? As we move closer to a world where human minds are linked together, where thoughts, feelings, and even creativity can be shared in real time, we must ask, what happens to the concept of individual artistry? Does creativity thrive in the collective, or is it stifled by it? Are we on the brink of a new golden age of artistic collaboration, or are we losing the essence of art as a personal, human expression? Let's start by considering what art is in its truest form. Art is expression. It's a reflection of the individual's soul, whether that's through painting, music, writing, or dance. Every stroke of a brush, every note played, every word written comes from a deep internal place. It is unique. It is personal. It is the artist's voice, their thoughts, their vision of the world that no one else can replicate. Art is the essence of individuality. But now, in the age of the hive mind, that individuality is under threat. With technologies like Neuralink, brain-to-brain interfaces, and collective neural networks becoming more and more advanced, we are headed toward a future where creativity is no longer entirely individual. Imagine a world where, instead of creating in isolation, we create together, where every piece of art is a collective effort, where minds merge to form a single work. It sounds utopian at first, right? A world where everyone's creative potential is amplified, where we all share in the beauty of each creation. But let's dig deeper. What happens when every thought, every inspiration, is no longer born from the mind of one person, but from the minds of many? In theory, collective creativity could produce extraordinary results. A group of minds linked together could share ideas instantly, building upon one another's thoughts and perspectives to create something entirely new. Imagine writing a novel where the plot, characters, and emotions evolve organically as you sync with others. Or imagine a painting where each brushstroke is informed by the thoughts and feelings of those around you. The possibilities are endless, right? But here's the problem. When art is a collective effort, where does the artist's individuality go? What happens to the singular vision, the unique perspective that makes art personal? In the hive mind, art becomes a product of the group, not the individual. And that's where creativity starts to lose its soul. We've already seen the rise of AI-generated art. Algorithms can now create paintings, music, and even poetry, and some of it is stunningly good. But here's the catch. It's not really art. It's pattern recognition, data manipulation, and machine learning. AI doesn't feel the way we do. It doesn't experience life. It doesn't suffer or rejoice. It simply replicates patterns based on the data it's fed. And while the results may be visually or sonically pleasing, they lack the soul of human experience. Now, imagine a future where AI-generated art isn't just limited to individual works. It becomes part of a collective, brain-linked process. The hive becomes a breeding ground for digital creations, where every mind adds to the canvas, every thought contributes to the final piece. It sounds beautiful in theory, but it removes the raw human experience of creation. It becomes mechanical, predictable. It's art without an artist, an expression without a soul. This is the real danger of the hive mind in art. We lose the personal, the rawness, the imperfection that makes art so beautiful and so deeply human. The imperfections, the mistakes, the struggles, the flaws, are what make art real. It's not just the finished product that matters. It's the process. The process of creating, of discovering yourself through your work. That's where true artistry lies. And in the hive, that process becomes diluted. The rawness gets smoothed out. The mistakes get corrected. The individuality gets erased. In the collective, every artist is part of a whole, but the whole has no unique voice. It's just a product of the group. Now, let's consider the implications of this on our culture. What happens when everyone is linked into a single creative flow? What happens when art is no longer a space for individual expression, but a space for conformity? In a world where everything is shared, where every emotion and thought is transmitted, where does the artist stand? What becomes of the personal, the intimate, the vulnerable? Does art lose its power to move us, to change us, to make us see the world in a new way? The danger isn't just that art will become soulless, it's that we will forget what true art even is. We'll forget what it means to create from our own pain, our own joy, our own perspective. When every thought, every idea is shared, art loses its depth. It becomes shallow, designed to fit the mold of what the collective believes is valuable. The art that speaks to the soul, that comes from the depths of human experience, will be drowned out by the noise of the hive. So, what do? First, we must protect individuality in art. We must ensure that the collective never replaces the individual. The hive mind may be powerful, but it must never become the gatekeeper of creativity. We need to preserve spaces where artists can create freely, without the influence of the collective. We need to protect the artist's right to express themselves, to make mistakes, to be imperfect. Second, we need to embrace the beauty of imperfection, the flaws, the struggles, the rawness. These are the things that make art human. The hive mind may create perfect works of art, but it can never replicate the imperfection that makes us real. We must honor the imperfections in ourselves and in our art. And third, we need to ask ourselves, what does art mean in the age of the hive mind? Is it still an expression of the self, or is it something else entirely? We must keep this question alive. We must keep challenging the idea that art is a collective process. Because when art is reduced to a system, when it's created by a network instead of an individual, it loses its soul. Let me leave you with this. Art is not about the finished product. It's about the journey. It's about the emotion, the struggle, the self-expression. It's about the human experience. And as we move into the future, as we link our minds and our thoughts, we must never forget that. Because once we lose the human element in art, we lose what makes it truly powerful. The hive may give us new forms of creativity, but true art will always come from the individual. Hi, I am Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and SOS, School of Soul has a brand new series, the AI and Future Technology series. Look, you know the world is changing. And no, it's not going back to normal. Normal is over, and what's coming next is beyond anything we were prepared for. The School of Soul, AI and Future Technology series includes 319 videos on 1. The Download Society, How Data Has Replaced Destiny. 2. Predictive Future. Your next moves aren't random, they're forecasted. 3. Social Credit Systems. The behavioral economy now governs access. 4. Hive Mind. Synthetic telepathy and collective algorithmic control. 5. Nanobots inside you. Medical, military, and programmable intrusions. 6. Grief Tech. AI-fueled digital resurrection and simulated comfort. 7. Uploading your mind, consciousness transfer, and data-based identity. 8. Deep fakes plus AI clones. The replication of reality and identity theft. 9. Quantum humans. The merger of biology with quantum systems. 10. Digital afterlife, where your data goes when you die. 11. Resurrection science, reviving life through synthetic methods. 12. Immortal science, the end of death as we know it. 13. Longevity science, gene editing, anti-aging, and bio-upgrades. 14. Designer babies, engineered perfection before birth. 15. Artificial wombs, birth decoupled from the female body. 16. 3D printing, printing organs, limbs, and even humans. 17. The humanoid era, the rise of synthetic beings among us. 18. Legacy humans, the slow phase-out of unmodified analog people. 19. Smart cities, algorithmic environments that watch and decide. 20. Cloud-based societies, citizenship without borders or bodies. 21. Hackable humans, emotion, memory, and behavior under code. 22. Biometric scanning, your body is your password and your prison. 23. Sex tech, intimacy reprogrammed by machines. 24. Extinction of gender, fluidity, deletion, and design of identity. Every topic is fully explored with real-world technologies, patents, case studies, ethical analysis, and future forecasts. These aren't someday discussions. This is already happening. Join the SOS School of Soul Vault to overstand the future before it's implemented on you.